So, dear students, in the last classes we were discussing the preparation of amines. So, amines can be prepared by four methods. Number one, by the reduction of nitro compounds, by the reduction of nitriles, by the reduction of amides, Hofmann-Bromamide degradation, ammonolysis, and lastly phthalimide synthesis. So, how nitro compounds are converted into amines? When nitro compounds are reduced using hydrogenation reactions, when nitro compounds are reduced by passing hydrogen over heated nickel, platinum or palladium catalyst on nitro compounds, amines are obtained. So, similarly, when nitro compounds are reduced using tin and iron in presence of concentrated HCl, then also we can convert nitro compounds into amines. Then coming to the second method, nitriles, by the reduction of nitriles. So, cyanides are also called as nitriles. When nitriles are reduced using hydrogenation reaction or by sodium amalgam in ethyl alcohol, this reaction is called Mende's reduction. We can get amines. So, in this reduction of nitriles, amines containing one carbon atom more than the parent nitriles can be obtained. And then by the reduction of amides, when amides are reduced using lithium aluminum hydrides, they are converted into amines. In bromamide, Hofmann-Bromamide degradation, when amides are treated with bromine water and alcoholic solution of sodium hydroxide, we will get amines. Here the amines obtained will have one carbon atom less than the parent amides. And then what is ammonolysis? The reaction between alkyl halides and ammonia, alcoholic ammonia at 373 in a sealed tube, you will get a mixture of primary, secondary and tertiary and quaternary ammonium salts. So, what is the drawback of this reaction? In this reaction, we will get mixture of primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary ammonium salts. Therefore, it is one of the disadvantages. But we can also get primary amine as a major product by taking ammonia in excess. And also, we can prepare only primary amines when the ammonium salt obtained is heated with sodium hydroxide. Finally, what is phthalimide synthesis? In phthalimide synthesis, we can get pure primary alkyl halides, namely methylamine. So, what is phthalimide synthesis? When phthalimide is heated with alcoholic solution of sodium or potassium hydroxide, you will get N-potassium phthalimide. When it is treated with alkyl halide, we will get N-alkyl potassium phthalimide. When this one is hydrolyzed using a base, you will get sodium phthalate and primary amine is obtained. So, now we come across the word quaternary ammonium salts. What are quaternary ammonium salts? Quaternary ammonium salts. Quaternary ammonium salts are the derivative of ammonium salts. So, in ammonium there are 4 hydrogen atoms. If all these 4 hydrogen atoms are replaced by an alkyl or aryl group, we will get quaternary ammonium salts. What are quaternary ammonium salts? write down quaternary ammonium salts are the derivatives of ammonium salts comma obtained by replacing all the 4 hydrogen atoms of the salt by an alkyl or aryl groups. So quaternary ammonium salts are the derivative of ammonium salts obtained by replacing all the 4 hydrogen atoms of the salt by an alkyl or aryl group. Example, ammonium chloride. What is this compound? This is ammonium chloride. So here ammonium is positively charged and Cl minus is negatively charged. If all these 4 hydrogen atoms of ammonium salt is replaced by an alkyl or aryl group, say R, then you will get R4N plus Cl minus R4. So instead of hydrogen, if you replace hydrogen atoms by an alkyl or aryl group, you will get R4N plus Cl minus. This is called the quaternary ammonium salts. Where R is an alkyl or aryl groups. Example, if R equals C2H5, what is this compound? C2H5 4 times N plus Cl minus. This one is tetraethyl ammonium chloride. This is tetraethyl ammonium chloride. So this is a quaternary ammonium salt. So quaternary ammonium salt is a derivative of ammonium salt obtained by replacing all the 4 hydrogen atoms by an alkyl or aryl group. They are represented by the general formula R4N plus Cl minus. R4N plus Cl minus. So if R is C2H5, tetraethyl ammonium chloride. If R is equal to methyl group, tetramethyl ammonium chloride, etc. These are all quaternary ammonium salts. Next, we will study some conversions. I will give you some exercises. Write the chemical equations. Write the chemical equations. Write the chemical equations for the following conversions. Write the chemical equations for the following conversions. So what are those conversions? Number 1, CH3CH2Cl into CH3CH2CH2NH2. So what is this compound? This is ethyl chloride. This one is propanamine, or this one is ethane. This one is ethyl chloride. This one is ethyl chloride. This one is propanamine. So, what is the product? Propanamine. What is the reactant? Ethyl chloride. In this product, there is one carbon atom greater than the parent reactant. So, here there are 2 carbon atoms, here there are 3 carbon atoms. So, we have to increase 1 carbon atom. So, to increase 1 carbon atom, what reaction we have to follow? We have to follow the reduction nitriles. So, when nitriles are reduced, we will get amines of higher carbon atom. This is number 1. But chlorides cannot be converted into amines. So, to get amines, we have to reduce nitriles. So, first we have to convert chlorides into nitriles, and then on reduction of these nitriles, we can get amines of higher carbon atoms. So, what we have to do? First, we have to convert the chlorides into cyanides or nitriles by reacting with alcoholic NaOH. So, CH3, CH2, Cl when reacts with alcoholic sodium cyanide. Alcoholic sodium cyanide, what happens? You will get CH3, CH2, Cn. This is minus sodium chloride. When ethyl chloride is heated with alcoholic sodium cyanide, you will get ethyl cyanide. This one is ethyl nitrile or. So, how to convert nitriles into amines? By the catalytic reduction of cyanides or nitriles, we can convert these cyanides into nitriles. So, by the reduction using hydrogen and nickel, what happens? CH3, CH2 and then CH2NH2. So, this one is propanamine. So, you have to look out how many carbon atoms are there in the product and how many carbon atoms are there in the reactants. So, in reactants there are 2 carbon atoms, in the product there are 3 carbon atoms. So, we have to increase 1 carbon atom. So, the reaction in which 1 carbon atom increased is by the reduction of nitriles. So, here chloride is given, it should be converted into cyanides or nitriles. By the action of sodium cyanide, you will get ethyl nitrile, and then on reduction using hydrogen and nickel or by the hydrogenation of cyanides, it is converted into propanamine. So, what is the second conversion? So, second one is C6H5, C6H5CH2Cl. This one is benzyl chloride. So, if it is C6H5Cl, this is chlorobenzene. Here Cl is attached to side chain of the benzene, or it is the derivative of toluene, benzyl chloride, into C6H5CH2CN, sorry, CH2NH2. So this one is benzyl chloride and this one is 1, 2. This is 2-phenyl ethane amine. 2-phenyl ethane amine. So this one is how to convert benzyl chloride into 2-phenyl ethane amine. So this is also the similar reaction. So benzyl chloride should be converted into benzyl cyanide, and then or nitriles. On reduction of the nitrile, you will get N-phenyl ethanamine. So C6H5CH2Cl plus alcoholic sodium cyanide. When it reacts with alcoholic sodium cyanide, what happens? Sodium chloride goes out and Cn will come and sit in the place of Cl. So you will get C6H5CH2Cn. This one is benzyl nitrile. This is benzyl nitrile or benzyl cyanide. Benzyl. So this one on reduction using hydrogen and nickel. This is catalytic hydrogenation of cyanide. It is converted into C6H5CH2CH2NH2. This one is 2-phenyl ethanamine. Ethanamine. So this is how we can convert ethyl chloride into propanamine, benzyl chloride into 2-phenyl ethanamine. So first we have to convert halides into nitriles by the action of alcoholic sodium cyanide. Then by the reduction of nitriles, you will get amines which contain one carbon atom greater than the parent alkyl halides. So these conversions you have to remember. And then I will give you another exercise. Write the structure. Write the structure and IUPAC name of. Write the structure and IUPAC name of. Number 1, the amide which gives propanamine by Hoffman degradation. So the amide which gives propanamide by Hoffman degradation. So propanamine, what is the formula of propanamine? CH3CH2CH2NH2 is propanamine. So how propanamine is obtained in Hoffman bromamide reaction? What is Hoffman bromamide reaction? When an amide is heated with bromine and alcoholic sodium hydroxide, you will get amines which contain one carbon atom less than the parent amide. So to get propanamine, we have to take an amide whose carbon atom is greater than the amine. So this is propanamine. We have to take which amide? We have to take butanamide. So because the amine obtained will be less by one carbon atom. So this is propane, you have to take butanamide. What is the formula of butanamide? CH3, CH2, CH2, CONH2. So this one is butanamide. To get propanamine, we have to take butanamide whose carbon atom is greater by 1. So when butanamide is treated with bromine water and sodium hydroxide, alcoholic sodium hydroxide, what you will get? Propanamine plus 2NaBr plus Na2CO3 plus 2H2O. So this one is propanamine. To get propanamine, first you have to learn that we have to take butanamide in Hofmann-Bromamide reaction, because in Hofmann-Bromamide reaction the amine obtained will be less by one carbon than the parent amide. So to get propanamine, we have to take butanamide. So this is the IUPAC name of the amide. So the amide is butanamide and its structure is CH3, CH2, CH2, CONH2. So this one is butanamide, IUPAC name, and this is the structure. IUPAC name is butanamide and this is the structure. So second one, the amine produced by the Hofmann of the amine obtained by the Hofmann degradation of benzamide. So we have to name the amine which is obtained by the Hofmann degradation of benzamide. So what is the amide taken? Benzamide, C6H5CONH2. This one is benzamide. So when this is subjected to Hofmann bromamide degradation, NaOH, when benzamide reacts with bromine water and alcoholic solution of sodium hydroxide, what happens? CO goes out. You will get C6H5NH2 plus 2NaBr plus Na2CO3 plus 2H2O. So what is the amine obtained here? When benzamide is subjected to Hofmann degradation, you will get This one, what is the name of this compound? This is benzene amine. Benzene amine, it is also called as aniline. Benzene amine, it is also called as aniline. So this is the IUPAC name. So the IUPAC name of the amine, IUPAC name of the amine is number 1 benzene E ತೆಗೆದು amine ಹಾಕಬೇಕು or aniline. What is its structure? Coming to the structure, so this one is benzene ring, this one is N, this is H, this one is H. So this one is aniline, this is aniline. So this is the IUPAC name and this is the structure of the amine obtained by the Hofmann bromamide reduction of the amide, benzamide. So when amide, benzamide is reduced, you will get an amine whose carbon atom is less by 1. So CO goes. That you have to bear in your mind. When an amide undergo Hofmann bromamide reaction, CO group goes. When the CO group goes, the amine obtained will be less by 1 carbon atom. So during the reduction of nitriles, the amine obtained will have 1 carbon atom more. During Hofmann bromamide degradation, the amine obtained will have 1 carbon atom less than the parent amide. So these are all the things which are very important to remember. Coming to the physical properties. So physical properties of amines. Physical properties of amines, point number 1. So amines of lower, aliphatic amines of lower molecular masses are gases and are fishy smell. The lower members of aliphatic amines, the lower members of amines, the lower members of amines are gases with fishy smell. They will have fish smell. Therefore amines, lower members of amines are gases and they are fishy smell. Number 2, the aliphatic amines. Aliphatic amines of carbon atoms 3 or more are liquids. 3 or more are liquids and higher members are solids. And higher members are solids. So very lower members are gases with the fishy smell and carbon atom up to 3 and little above. Carbon atom number 1, carbon atom 2 are fishy gases with fishy smell. So carbon atoms greater than 3 and greater than a little 3 are liquids and higher members are solids. Coming to very important properties of amines, number 1, boiling points of amines. Boiling points of amines. So this is very important. Boiling points of amines. Usually, the boiling points of amines are higher than the other organic compounds of almost same molecular masses. So, this is very important question. Why the boiling points of amines are greater than the organic compounds of other substances of same molecular masses? Write down. The boiling points amines are higher than the boiling points of other organic compounds of almost same molecular masses. So, when compared to organic compounds of same molecular masses, they are called isomeric compounds. Boiling points of amines are higher than the boiling points of other molecular. Boiling points of amines are usually higher than the boiling points of other organic compounds whose molecular masses are almost same. This is the reason. Why? So, in amines, except tertiary amines, there is a strong hydrogen bonding. So, amines write down like this. Amines except tertiary amines are capable of forming intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So, in amines are capable of forming intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Therefore, their boiling points are higher than the other organic compounds. So, first we will know what is hydrogen bonding. Because of hydrogen bonding, the boiling points of amines are high. What is hydrogen bonding? Say for example, when ammonia, water, hydrogen fluoride. In ammonia, nitrogen combined with hydrogen, or hydrogen combined with nitrogen with covalent bonds. Here also, in water also, hydrogen combined with oxygen by covalent bonds. These are all covalent bonds. In hydrogen fluoride also, hydrogen combined with fluorine. So, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, group number 7, group number 8, group number 9. They are most electronegative atoms. Yavadu? Nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine are most electronegative atoms. So when hydrogen combine with these most electronegative atoms like nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, what happens? Suppose if there is another molecule of ammonia here, one molecule of ammonia, another molecule of ammonia, one molecule of water, here there is another molecule of water, one molecule of hydrogen fluoride, another molecule of hydrogen fluoride. So in all these cases, these are the covalent bonds. These bonds are called covalent bonds. The bond between this oxygen and hydrogen is covalent bond. When hydrogen combine with more electronegative atoms like nitrogen, oxygen or fluorine, it has a electrostatic force of attraction between other atoms like nitrogen, oxygen or fluorine. So the electrostatic force of attraction between hydrogen and the most electronegative atoms like nitrogen, oxygen or fluorine of other molecule are of the same molecule. This bonding is known as hydrogen bonding. The electrostatic force of attraction. So these are indicated by dotted lines. So this is what is known as hydrogen bonding. So what is hydrogen bonding? The electrostatic force of attraction between hydrogen atom of one molecule and the most electronegative atom of other molecule or within the molecule is known as hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is represented by dotted lines, whereas covalent bonds are represented by thick lines. So hydrogen bonds are weaker bonds when compared to covalent bonds. So these are called hydrogen bonds. What is hydrogen bonding? When hydrogen, the electrostatic force of attraction between hydrogen atom of one molecule ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ನು ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನು ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕೋವಲೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲಿನ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನು ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅದೇ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲಿನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ನು ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ the hydrogen atom of one molecule and the most electronegative atoms like nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine of the same molecule or of different molecule is known as hydrogen bonding. So here, because of hydrogen bonding, amines will have higher boiling points. What is the meaning of this one? Because of hydrogen bonding, what happens? There is association of molecules. There is association of molecules. Say for example, this is primary amine. Primary amine is represented by the R, N, H, H. This is primary amine. This is secondary amine. R, R dash, NH. And this one is tertiary amine, R, N, R dash, R double dash. So there are no, this is primary amine, this one is secondary amine and this one is tertiary amine. So these are all polar bonds. NH bonds are polar bond. So this one is nitrogen. So this one is positive, this one is negative, electropositive, this is electronegative, negative, this one is positive. So when one molecule of amine comes near another molecule of amine, what happens? So this one is N, H, this one is R, H. So this hydrogen atom of one amine associated with the nitrogen atom of another amine. So this is what is known as hydrogen bonding. Similarly, this hydrogen atom combine with another molecule of amine. As a result, what happens? The molecule associates. Molecule will join with each other and they will form a cluster. So during boiling, what we have to do? We have to break these bonds. We have to break the hydrogen bonds between one molecule of amine and another molecule of amine. Therefore, we have to supply more heat to break these hydrogen bonds. Hence, the boiling points of amines are more. So, here there are two NH bonds. In primary amines, there are two NH bonds. In secondary amines, there is only one NH bond. And tertiary amine, no NH bonds. So, if the number of NH bonds are more, hydrogen bonding will be more and boiling points of amines will also be more. So, if the number of hydrogen bonds are less, what happens? Boiling points are also less, and hence the boiling point of the amines are in the order primary amines is greater than, boiling point of primary amine is greater than secondary amine, which is greater than tertiary amine. Tertiary amine, boiling point of the amines are of the order. Boiling point of the, you write down isomeric amines. So this is isomeric amines. Boiling points of isomeric amines are in the order primary amines. Boiling point of primary amines are greater than secondary amines, greater than tertiary amines. I will give you the example. So, example, primary amine boiling point is greater than secondary amine, which is greater than tertiary amines. Tertiary amines. Example, CH3, CH2, CH2, NH2. What is this one? Propane amine is a primary amine. It is a primary amine. And coming to this one, CH3, CH3, N, H, CH3, NH, CH3. One, two, three. So this is CH3, CH3, CH2, NH, CH3. What is this one is? This one is propane amine, and this one is N-methyl ethane amine. And coming to here, CH3, N, CH3. So this one is NN dimethyl, methane amine. So these are isomeric amines. They have same molecular mass, molecular formula, but they are differ in their structural formula. They are called isomers. So boiling point of propanamine is greater than boiling point of N-methane, secondary amine. It is a tertiary amine of same molecular mass. This is why, because here there are two NH bonds. Here there is one NH bond, two NH bonds, one NH bond and no NH bonds. No NH bonds. Because of two NH bonds, what happens? Hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is high. Hydrogen bonding is less. No hydrogen bonding. No hydrogen bonding. So because of excessive hydrogen bonding in primary amines, there is great association of the molecules. To break these molecules, associated molecules, we need extra energy. Therefore, boiling points are high in case of primary amines. Coming to the secondary amines, since there is only one NH polar bond, the extent of hydrogen bonding is less, extent of association of molecules is less. Therefore, the amount of heat supplied to break the bond is also less, and hence boiling point of amines is, secondary amine is less when compared to primary amine. So boiling point is high, boiling point is less, and boiling point is still less. So this is the reason why the boiling points of amines are higher than the other organic compounds of no polar bonds. Because of the presence of NH polar bonds, amines undergo intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Because of this intermolecular hydrogen bonding, association of molecules takes place, and hence the boiling point is high. Second point, boiling point increases with increase in molecular mass of the compound. Molecular mass of the compound. So as you go higher and higher, methane, ethane, propanamine, butanamine, pentanamine, hexanamine, what happens? The molecular masses also goes on increasing. As the molecular masses increases, the boiling point also increases. So this is about the boiling points of amines. Why the boiling points of amines are higher when compared to other organic compounds? Because of hydrogen, intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between two different molecules is known as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. There is another type of hydrogen bonding, namely intramolecular hydrogen bonding, where hydrogen bonding takes place within the molecule. So here, because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, association of molecules takes place. Therefore, the boiling points of amines are higher than the boiling points of other compounds. Then coming to solubility. Solubility of amines. So third physical property, solubility of amines. So lower members of amines are soluble in water, again due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water molecules. So lower members of aliphatic aliphatic amines are soluble in water because of the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water molecules. Example, so this one is RNH. So this is a primary amine or secondary amine, whatever it may be, plus this one is OHH. So this one is an amine and this one is water molecule. So this hydrogen is combined with more electronegative element like nitrogen, and this hydrogen, so when this hydrogen combined with more electronegative atom like ammonia, nitrogen, it has an electrostatic force of attraction with the other most electronegative atoms like oxygen. So in between amines and water molecule there is a hydrogen bonding. Because of the hydrogen bonding, amines mix up with water. So that is the reason why lower members of amines are soluble in water. Lower members of aliphatic amines are soluble in water because of the formation of, this is very important, intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water molecules. So now, as the molecular mass increases, the solubility of the amine decreases. So this is first point. Number 2, as the molecular mass of the aliphatic amines increases, the solubility decreases. Lower members are soluble in water because of the formation of hydrogen bonding with water molecules. As the molecular masses increases, the solubility decreases, because as the molecular masses increases, the alkyl group size also increases, which is hydrophobic in nature. Hydrophobic means it hates water molecules. Decreases. This is because as the molecular mass increases, the hydrophobic alkyl part of the molecule increases, and hence they become insoluble. They become less soluble in water. So coming to the solubility of aliphatic amines, lower members of aliphatic amines are soluble in water. Why? Because they form intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water molecules. As the molecular mass increases, the size of the molecules goes on increasing. As the size increases, the hydrophobic part of the organic molecule increases, and the compounds becomes less soluble or insoluble in water. So fourth point, Aromatic amines are insoluble in water, but soluble in organic solvents like ether, alcohol, benzene, etc. So aromatic amines containing benzene rings are insoluble in water because aromatic compounds are insoluble in water. So these two questions are very important. So how the boiling points of amines are greater than the boiling points of other compounds because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding between the molecules. So primary amines, why the boiling point of primary amine is greater than secondary amine, which is greater than tertiary amine? Because in primary amines there are two polar NH bonds. In secondary amine there is only one, and tertiary amine no NH bonds. So because of these polar hydrogen bonds, they undergo excessive hydrogen bonding in primary, less hydrogen bonding in secondary, and still no hydrogen bonding in tertiary. Because of this hydrogen bonding, their boiling points vary. So boiling point of primary amines are higher than the tertiary amines because of hydrogen bonding. So lower members of aliphatic amines are soluble in water because of hydrogen bonding with water molecules. So I will give you one example between butane 1-ol and butane 1-amine. Which one is more soluble? So explain. Butane 1-ol. What is this formula? CH3, CH2, 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 OH. This is butane 1-ol. And this one is butane 1-amine. CH3, CH2, 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 NH2. So which one is more soluble? So butane 1-ol is between butane 1-ol and butane 1-amine, which is more soluble in water. So here both the molecules undergo intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water. So here OH, here ONH2, this is NH, this is alcohol, and this one is amine. Here is water molecule, here is also water molecule. So here this OH, the hydrogen attached to this O and attached to this O, so there is hydrogen bonding. Here is also hydrogen bonding. This is alcohol and this one is an amine. Both alcohols and amines form hydrogen bonding with water molecule. These are hydrogen bonds, but the electronegativity of oxygen is high, whereas electronegativity of nitrogen is less. So nitrogen is 7th group, oxygen is in 8th group. As we move from left to right, electronegativity increases along the period. Therefore electronegativity of oxygen is high, electronegativity of nitrogen is less. So since hydrogen is attached to highly electronegative atom like oxygen, its hydrogen bonding is strong, whereas this hydrogen bonding is weak. So Because its hydrogen bonds are strong, alcohol hydrogen bond is strong, they have high solubility with water. So between one butanol and one butanamine, which is more soluble in water, which is more soluble in water, which is more soluble in water? Alcohols are more soluble than amine in water because alcohols form strong hydrogen bonding with water. Alcohols form strong hydrogen bonding with water because the electronegativity of oxygen is high. So amines form weak hydrogen bonding with water because its electronegativity because the electronegativity of nitrogen is less. Therefore alcohols are more soluble than amines in water. Alcohols are more soluble than amines in water. So this is the reason why alcohols are more soluble than amines in water. So solubility is very important. Why they are more soluble? Amines are lower members of amines are more soluble when compared to alcohols. Amines are less soluble. Alcohols are more soluble in water because in alcohols both alcohols and amines undergo hydrogen bonding with water, but in alcohols hydrogen is combined with more electronegative atom like oxygen and it forms a strong hydrogen bonding, whereas in case of amines hydrogen combined with less electronegative atom like nitrogen and the hydrogen bonding is weak. Therefore alcohols are more soluble in water than in amine. Okay.